This is Mrs. Kunde's innovative teacher toolbox for primary grades. This is the tool that I created in order to share the 5 technology tools that I decided to use. Just to start off, the 2 trends that I really wanted to focus on were the rethinking the role of the teacher and the personalized learning. And they both came from the Horizon report. The rethinking the role of the teacher, 2 of my tools really fit into that category. Class Dojo, which is a new classroom behavior tool that is a lot different than things that have been used in the traditional classroom. And then Flipgrid, which is a way for students to be able to record their responses. So it's not exactly the same as teachers asking questions and students raising their hand to give answers. Another one, the other trend that I wanted to focus on was the personalized learning trend. And that's huge in all of our schools right now. But the 3 tools that I chose that really fit into that category were Ixl, Raz Kids, and Epic. And I will go through and tell you a little bit more about those as we go through here. So I created a website. So this is the homepage, and I have the buttons to link to the different tools. So first I'll go under the literacy tech tools. I really wanted to group them together kind of by subject. So these were the 4 that are related to literacy: Epic, Flipgrid, Ixl, and Raz Kids. So we'll start with Epic. Epic is a program that basically gives students access to a lot of different books. It's really great because it's personalized for the students. After you create their account, they can choose books that are interesting to them, and then it will remember some of their favorites so that they can access them anytime. And the more that they use Epic, the more that Epic learns their likes. So I put in a quick video just for how you get started and the screenshot of what it looks like for a student to access their account. There is a new feature to Epic where you can create quizzes based on books, or you can look up quizzes that other teachers have made and you can use those. So I put in a little video on how to do that if a teacher was interested in using a quiz. I also found an article from Publishers Weekly talking about the advantages of using Epic in the classroom, so I wanted to put that in there as well. And then I also included a link to the Epic website for teachers to sign up or just to learn more information. So Epic is my first tool. The second literacy tool that I focused on was Flipgrid. And Flipgrid is a video discussion platform. So it's totally free, and you give students a code. And once they have the code, they're able to see topics that you created and they're able to respond to them. This is great because, for students that don't like to raise their hand in class, or for students that are learning English in the English classroom, it's really great for them to practice recording themselves. They can always re-record it again if they made a mistake or if they want to give a different response. So it's really good for them to practice their verbal literacy. It's also a great way for teachers to assess the students, because you can't call on every single person in your class every day for every question that you ask. But when you give them access to Flipgrid, you can make sure that you ask the really, really important questions on Flipgrid, and then you can always assess that later. Here I attached a flyer that you can just see some more information about what Flipgrid has to offer. And then this is a video that was created by Flipgrid. It's students and teachers talking about the importance of student voice in the classroom and why Flipgrid is so great at showing student voice. I linked a first grade student actually from my classroom using Flipgrid independently to show that even the young learners can do this. And then also just so you can see what it looks like from the student perspective when they log in. So they would click the little green plus and that would record their video. A great thing about Flipgrid too is that they can watch each other's videos and they can respond to each other as well. So the teacher can give feedback, but also the students can give feedback as well. There's an option to add rubrics. So in my classroom, I add rubrics straight to my Flipgrids, and then I can transfer it right into my grade book. So just some more examples. I created a lesson plan for how to use Flipgrid in the classroom. And this is something I actually did last week with my students. So it's in my first grade classroom with 26 students, and we are one-to-one with Chromebooks. And the Common Core standard that we were focusing on was retelling stories with key details and demonstrating the understanding of central message. So this is the slide that they see. So we listened to the book, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. And after the story's read, we're going to go over a couple things to try to get them to understand the central message. So these are the questions right here that I go through every time we read a story to help them figure out what the central message is. And then by the end of the lesson, they all have a pretty good grasp on it. So I will let them go to their Chromebooks and they have to respond to the topic, what is the central message of the text, The Boy Who Cried Wolf? So they can go ahead in their Flipgrid and record the central message. So that was the sample lesson plan. I also linked an article just written about Flipgrid, and then also a link to the Flipgrid website. Ixl. This is an adaptive learning tool. It has all different grade levels. It has all different skills, math, language arts, science, and social studies. So students are asked questions and all their information is stored into Ixl. So it can keep giving them questions that they need to be working on. If they're getting them all right, it moves them on to harder ones still within the same topic. Teachers can star specific skills that they want their students to work on. So I put in here just for a teacher that might be interested in getting Ixl, this is kind of what it looks like for the students. So when they log in, my students press the 1 because they're in first grade, and this is under math, so they can see all the different skills to work on. There's also a recommendations tab that the students can click on, and this will send them to things that they have not been doing well on in the past, and it kind of simplifies it a little bit so that they can keep working on the skills that they need to focus on, but makes it a little bit easier so that they can have some success. And then this is from the teacher standpoint. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. There's a lot of analytic options, which they have a whole page devoted to that on their website. And then also you can see your class data, or you can always click on the individual students as well to see their data. I put in a video to kind of show people why Ixl is great for the classroom and what other educators have done with it that has been successful for them. I found a case study in Michigan about Ixl and how they used it to move beyond the standard curriculum. So I put a link to that case study. I also put a link to an article from the New York Times that discussed just using Ixl in the classroom. I also put a link to the website so they can learn more information or sign up. And then also, I found a great flyer that teachers could use to send home to parents if they are already signed up, but they want to get the students doing it at home for additional practice or get the parents on board. This flyer was an awesome resource for teachers to use. And then Raz Kids was another literacy technology tool. It's a program that has leveled readers, so it's great for teaching students how to read. They have levels A all the way to Z. There is a correlation chart that I linked that I found as a resource. I know a lot of districts use different types of assessments to determine the levels that their students are reading at. So that is that'll help you out there. And then just some different reports that you can use. And this is from the teacher side. And then this is what it looks like for the students, and all the different